I want to welcome everybody this morning. It's great to have those of you who have joined us in some of our recent DLC discussions back, but I'm also excited to see a few new faces here today. And so welcome to you to your first DLC event. Special thank you to our West Coast friends because they're accommodating an early start, so a little bit earlier rise and shine. I hope the coffee's flowing okay out there. But we did this because it coincides with the class time, which made it possible for students to be here. For today's discussion, I'm pleased that we're focusing on the strategic communications side of the house. We will get a VIP preview of MOJO Ad's annual State of the YAYA. And MOJO Ad is our full service student run advertising agency, and it conducts this research and produces this annual report on the attitudes and behaviors of youth and young adults, YAYA, consumers. So we are joined this morning by several of our very talented strategic communications students and their professors. And so we'll have them wave so you can see who they are. Professor Mark Swanson is here. Professor Brad Best is here. Jon Stemmle in his blue shirt standing out there is the faculty group chair of strategic communication, and Jamie Flink is the director of operations and research for MOJO Ad. So we are very appreciative of their efforts and leadership in this. Following the presentation, we will have time for a brief discussion and Q&A session. So collect all your questions and be ready. And with that, I'm pleased to introduce Sam Skaggs, who is one of our student account managers, to begin the presentation. Sam, it's all yours.
Thank you. Well, hi, everyone. We want to thank you for joining us for this year's State of the YAYA live webcast. We are MOJO Ad, a full-service, student-staffed advertising agency specializing in all things young.
We focus on the youth and young adult, or YAYA market, which is made up of 18 to 24-year-olds. No one knows these consumers quite like we do. Why? Because we are them. As members of this elusive demographic, we serve as liaisons between the YAYA market and the professionals seeking to reach them.
Each year, MOJO Ad conducts a comprehensive quantitative research study to shed light on who YAYA consumers are, what they value, how they behave, and most importantly, how they interact with brands during this pivotal life stage.
We distributed a 63-question survey nationwide through Qualtrics. We had 724 completed responses, and our sample was representative of U.S. Census Bureau data for 18 to 24-year-olds related to race, ethnicity, and gender.
We also utilized dozens of secondary resources, including Mintel, Pew Research Center, Forbes, Statista, and Nielsen, as well as past State of the YAYA reports to gain a better insight into the evolving YAYA market.
Over the course of this presentation, each of our three teams, Circa, Tandem, and Zenith, will take you through our specific research findings, which are included in our annual State of the YAYA report.
At the end of the presentation, we'll have time for Q&A, so you can ask us questions and learn directly from YAYA individuals. We'll be taking these questions through Zoom at the end of this.
Our team, Circa, found inspiration in art history as we considered how we would convey YAYA's views on the government, the economy, and the family to you all.
In the mid-1800s, exclusive galleries like Francis Salon and Royal Academy sanctioned realist painters and luxe crowds, but turned away impressionists and lowly commoners.
Since the outcast didn't conform, the Impressionists, a title bestowed as an insult but owned with pride, moved on to create their own space. For it wasn't the names of the Salon or Royal Academy that the artist wanted so fiercely. It was the opportunity to do and create what they loved.
In a way, the YAYA demographic is the Impressionist group of today. 18 to 24-year-olds are not entirely understood, and they're often discredited because they don't follow the status quo.
In this presentation, we will guide you through a gallery curated by YAYA individuals themselves and provide 6 key insights, which will allow you to fully understand and appreciate the space YAYA consumers are creating for themselves. Welcome to the Gallery of Now.
Our first key insight is that YAYA consumers have a layered sense of identity. Our research shows that this sense is significantly shaped by their online and offline communities.
Half of survey respondents identified as part of an online community. This could include a sports fan base, a gaming community, or a television or movie fandom. Social media has also created avenues for identities grounded in the subculture.
YAYA individuals are also closer with their friends and their families than other demographics. 65% agree with the statement, "It is important for me to remain close to my family." Furthermore, 6 in 10 YAYA individuals find it important to have their family on board when they make a big decision.
This trend extends to friends as well. Roughly 4 in 10 people within the YAYA age group find it difficult to make a life decision different from what their friends are doing. Additionally, 45% indicated that they do not feel comfortable moving to a place where they don't know anyone.
Despite finding significant belonging and identity in community, YAYA individuals seek personalization and uniqueness. When asked to choose between a luxury product or a product that was unique to them, 68% chose a unique product.
This layered sense of identity has significant implications for marketing success. Family is a huge source of comfort, stability, and identity for YAYA individuals. Therefore, it is key for you to prioritize this connection in your products and messaging. We foresee a growth in demand for items that provide connectivity and messaging services.
YAYA individuals pride themselves on their uniqueness and lack of conformity. Avoid one-size-fits-all messaging and generalization.
Our next insight is plugged in and disconnected. The events of 2020 have changed how YAYA individuals connect with their communities, for better or for worse. Overall, YAYA consumers have plugged into the news, but unfortunately, they're also overstimulated and struggle to find meaningful connections.
3 in 4 YAYA individuals indicated that they are more aware of the news and current events than they were before 2020. They also prefer to get their news from social media. The most popular platforms for news gathering are Instagram and YouTube, followed by TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter.
However, despite feeling more aware of current events, consuming the news is not uplifting for the majority of the YAYA demographic. 66% feel less optimistic after consuming the news.
When asked how the events of 2020 have changed their perspective, 6 in 10 survey respondents feel less connected to their community, and nearly 1 in 4 feel much less connected. What's more, 50% felt less cared for by their community after 2020.
When it comes to feeling empowered, survey results were mixed. 54% feel less empowered after the events of 2020. However, it's important to note that while Black respondents and white respondents indicated they felt much less empowered at roughly the same rate, Black respondents were more likely to say they felt much more empowered than white respondents.
You can be confident that YAYA individuals are aware of current events and news items, especially if they're trending on social media. Marketers need to look for opportunities to highlight good news and positive stories. Be cautious of seeming pessimistic or creating content that seems to play off of anxiety. Look for innovative opportunities to highlight people showing up for one another.
Our next insight is betwixt and between. According to our data, YAYA individuals are evenly split on how they feel about the future of US society or the current state of American institutions.
Just over half of respondents think that the United States is the greatest country in the world. Survey results suggested that political partisanship plays a role in perceptions of the United States. Those who indicated that they were strongly affiliated with either political party were more likely to have strong feelings on this topic.
While 58% resonated with the statement, 10 years from now, the United States will be a better society than it is today, anxiety and fear appeared when they were asked to identify their feelings about the future of American society. It's clear that YAYA individuals have mixed feelings about what the United States will have to offer in the future.
You should be hesitant to clearly define what's next because YAYA consumers don't have that confidence. Their feelings are contradictory and can change on a dime during these formative years of early adulthood. You should carefully evaluate any decision to appeal to a sense of patriotism or national pride, which can be a major turnoff for younger consumers with a pessimistic outlook for the country's future.
Our next insight is anxiety breeds action. YAYA individuals are anxious about a variety of issues facing our society. In our survey, YAYA individuals were asked how frequently they worry about specific issues on a scale from always to never. The most frequent worries for our respondents were police brutality, sexual harassment, discrimination, and a global pandemic, Roughly 1 in 3 always worry about these issues. Additionally, 1 in 4 always worry about the threats of mass shootings, unemployment, and climate change. And finally, 1 in 5 indicated they always worry about the threat of an economic recession, terrorist attacks, and the destabilization of the government.
Beyond individual stressors, YAYA consumers are also worried about society as a whole. 3 in 4 identified that they feel anxious when thinking about the future of US society.
While YAYA individuals are anxious and concerned, they aren't waiting for someone else to come along and fix things. Surprisingly and conclusively, 1 in 3 indicated they feel individuals should be most responsible for solving social problems facing our country today. Moreover, 3 in 4 think their actions can create positive change in society. Finally, 2 in 3 think their generation will make the world a better place.
This activist mindset is reflected in our data. In the past year, 84% of respondents engaged in activist activity, which we defined as the practice of taking direct action to achieve political or social goals. The most popular actions were keeping up with the news, voting, reading materials to educate yourself on a topic, and signing petitions.
YAYA consumers want brand messaging that helps ease their anxiety and stress about the future, but they can see through a facade. You should take care to maintain honesty and transparency in your marketing efforts. YAYA consumers seek out opportunities to do good in their communities. Marketers can capitalize on this by providing consumers with options to give back and to emphasize corporate social responsibility and charitable giving efforts.
Our next insight is authenticity and assurance. When evaluating brands before making a purchase decision, YAYA consumers expect authenticity. The more assured they are in a brand's integrity, the more likely they are to purchase. YAYA individuals are generally cynical of brands taking action on social issues, with 3 in 4 saying that they are skeptical of brands that claim to support a social cause. Not to mention, 72% of respondents agree with the statement, companies will pretend to do good just so I will buy from them.
However, taking a stand on social issues is still expected. Roughly 2/3 of YAYA consumers agree they would stop buying from a company or brand, which behaves in a way that doesn't align with YAYA consumers' values. This data stresses how important it is for brands to assure consumers that their brand is authentic. This is encouraging data for brands who were previously wary of taking a stand on social issues. According to our survey data, 6 in 10 think it is authentic when a brand posts on social media in support of a social cause or releases a press statement taking a stand on a social issue. Additionally, 74% said it is authentic when a brand donates a percentage of its profits to a social or charitable cause.
For you to be successful, you need to be both authentic and assuring in your messaging. It's crucial to show consumers exactly what steps your brand is taking to make a difference in the world. By making a commitment to practicing authenticity and taking a stand on social issues, you have the opportunity to be top of mind with YAYA consumers.
Our final insight is that for YAYA consumers, money talks. Ultimately, YAYA consumers prioritize cost over social stances. YAYA individuals are careful and deliberate with their spending and saving habits. Our data overwhelmingly showed that the YAYA demographic is prioritizing a secure future rather than one-time experiences. When asked if they would spend $5,000 on vacation or invest the money, more than 70% of survey respondents chose to invest.
Additionally, 65% follow a budget or set financial goals, which shows their frugality and dedication to their own future. Forbes labels them as the pragmatic generation, who are ultimately motivated by having a secure life outside of work.
This is especially true for members of the YAYA demographic who have personally witnessed some form of financial insecurity. More than half of respondents who had experienced food or employment insecurity said that financial stability was extremely important.
The YAYA market is motivated by career success more so than personal relationships. When YAYA individuals were asked to consider what they need to have a successful life, having financial security, a job with benefits and purpose, and money saved for retirement were ranked more highly than having kids, getting married, or earning a college degree.
Market implications for this insight are as follows. YAYA consumers need to be shown why they should put their money towards something. This is not an age group prone to impulse buying. There are opportunities for finance companies to reach a new generation.
Moreover, YAYA consumers are incredibly career-oriented and have an interest in saving for the future. When looking to hire within the YAYA market, Be transparent with salary and benefits.
Art can move people to do many different things. The same can be said about the last 12 months. For this reason, it's difficult to predict which direction YAYA consumers will go. What we do know is that 18 to 24-year-olds are feeling disconnected from society and each other. That's where you all come in.
Marketers have the ability to create community. Tap into this potential and inspire young people to redesign and remold the country's social, political, and economic landscapes the way they need you to. It will benefit you to listen closely to the next segment of the Soy webcast as Tandem delves deeper into the ways that you can impact the physical and digital lives of YAYA consumers.
For YAYA consumers, their online space is much more than a hobby or pastime. It's their home. They live, eat, and breathe a virtual identity. So if you want to reach these digital homebodies, you can't just be in their neighborhood. You need to knock on their digital door.
But these doors are password protected.
Does it seem like no matter what you try, you just can't access them?
Reaching YAYA consumers doesn't have to be encrypted. We're here to help you gain access to this elusive demographic. Welcome, home screen.
A YAYA consumer's home screen is beyond just a landing page. It's where they live. 60% of YAYA consumers feel at home when they are online.
Now, let us introduce you to the new generation of digital consumers.
There is no distinction between this age group's online experience and their offline experience, making their realities one. 67% of YAYA individuals say that they match their online identities to their physical ones, which further links this connection. This means that their online experience should be as rich and immersive as their offline experience.
While YAYA consumers feel at home when they're online, they're more nomadic in their media consumption. With 66% of YAYA consumers seeking new experiences online, they roam the internet in search of self-discovery and to further explore the world around them. In fact, 76% of them agree with this statement: social media allows me to understand different people and cultures.
The comfort YAYA consumers feel on the internet has opened the door for them to freely discover new ideas about themselves and who they aspire to be.
Although this market may wander, they are far from lost. This led us to name them digital nomads.
YAYA consumers live, work, and play online, so their virtual life becomes their window into the world. They want brands that can offer extraordinary omni-channel experiences that can surpass shopping in physical stores. Marketers can serve as a GPS, guiding the YAYA market to roam and discover new content that fulfills their need to seek new directions.
So, what brand does this well? Spotify. In addition to having one of the youngest user bases, Spotify guides digital nomads to discover music. Instead of seeking out popular or branded artists, they want to forge their own path and find new music.
Spotify does just that through personalized playlists with new artists and genres for listeners, like their Discover Weekly playlist. The Discover Weekly playlist utilizes a taste profile that assigns scores to various artists and genres based on the user's listening habits, resulting in a perfectly curated, unique to you playlist.
Now, let's profile who these consumers are on social media. At this life stage, YAYA individuals are learning who they are and, more importantly, who they want to be. These users actively curate and customize their identities online and offline to form what we call a curation of self. Their individual expression is seen and built through their digital lives. The way they customize their home screen or who they follow on Instagram speaks to their evolving personal identity.
YAYA consumers enjoy exploring different platforms to curate their ever-changing identities. As they do this, brands should meet them where they're at to help them discover their individuality. So what brand does this well? Function of Beauty. Noted for being the world leader in customizable beauty, Function of Beauty offers tailor-made hair care, skincare, and body products based on a quiz, allowing customers to purchase products made specifically for their needs. Realizing that one type does not fit all, Function and Beauty has elevated its standards to meet the needs of each individual customer, no matter the hair type or skin type. Customers can also have their names printed on the product labels, showing that it doesn't take much to have customers feel involved in brand experiences by adding a special touch of personalization.
Let's kick our feet up and take a look at the entertainment folder.
Entertainment, water, food, and shelter. Digital nomads are redefining what is essential to them and making the most room for entertainment. They expect to be entertained wherever they land. To digital nomads, what's the point of being online if they're not being entertained? And what better way to stay entertained than binge watching your favorite show? The largest percentage of digital nomads pay for streaming services with their own money. 53% of respondents said they're personally willing to spend over $20 per month for all their streaming services combined.
Hey, you know what really irritates me? When I'm in the middle of something and
Woo, woo, woo! Stay the YAYA downloads free. Download this link here.
this is exactly what I was talking about. As a digital nomad, nothing annoys me more than being interrupted by an ad during my essential entertainment time.
Brands have to be a lot more subtle than that. Skip typical ads, product placement is the key to success with this market. In fact, consumers in this demographic view product placement more positively compared to traditional advertising. Through their need to be entertained 24/7, YAYA audiences adopt an entertainment mindset. And it's suggested that brands tap into this mindset by making their platform a world of entertainment, socialization, and self-expression.
One brand that taps into the entertainment mindset is, of course, TikTok. As any TikTok user knows, what started as a quick 5-minute break on the app can easily turn into hours.
Scrolling from video to video on the app creates an endless cycle of entertainment. This app is so successful because of its customized algorithms and hyper-curated content. One user's For You page can look entirely different from others, all based on what kind of content they want to see, adding a new level of personalization. From unboxing videos, to dance tutorials, to video game footage, to whatever this is, TikTok offers a variety of entertainment in 15 to 60-second videos.
Another type of entertainment that is essential to digital nomads is sports. This life stage is redefining how they view traditional sports. Whether that is through social media or short-form videos, this trend is exposing a shift in values. Digital nomads want to stay informed about sports and athletes, but don't feel the need to watch a 4-hour game. But this decline is not met without a replacement.
What we found is the rise of a new kind of athlete. Digital nomads are hanging up their cleats and reaching for their controllers. Traditional sports viewership is declining, while esports participation and viewership are growing exponentially. According to Statista, the global esports market was valued at just over $1 billion in 2021.
From our primary research, we found that 37% of respondents participate in esports, and 44% of YAYA individuals are gaming daily. It might surprise you to know that 36% of these daily users are women.
As brands increase their foothold in the gaming industry, they need to acknowledge the presence of female gamers. Marketers have the chance to reach the entire gaming community by creating a supportive and inclusive network for female gamers.
Esports and streaming allow for more authentic, genuine interaction between athlete and fan that isn't found in mainstream sports. 44% of YAYA individuals are loyal to specific streamers. Because of this trust, almost half of respondents enjoy watching sponsored streams, and 31% regularly purchase products promoted by a streamer. Even more, 59% of respondents trust the recommendations of the streamers they follow.
So if you haven't already, switch to Twitch. According to our primary research, 53% of YAYA consumers are watching Twitch content. This live streaming platform is a hub for YAYA consumers' interests, varying from esports and video games to music and even lifestyle content. What sets this platform apart is the element of community. Millions of users come together to interact, chat, and make their own entertainment.
Now that you have unlocked the virtual abodes of YAYA consumers, make yourself at home. As you learned today, being online is not just a pastime, it's their lifeline, providing a comforting space for these digital homebodies to learn about who they are and who they aspire to be. In order for your brand to get ahead, it's important to take a look inside the home screens of this group.
Thanks for logging in. Now, we're going to switch profiles so that Team Zenith can give you insight into the YAYA consumer's view on work and careers.
Work and careers for the YAYA demographic have undergone a metamorphosis. Our job is to show how, so you can better recruit these budding professionals to join your team.
There's no denying that the workplace has undergone a dramatic digital transformation over the past year. Office meetings have turned into video calls. Sold-out stadiums that were once packed with fans are now filled with cardboard cutouts. And instead of sprinting halfway across campus, students can just roll out of bed and log into their lectures. But even in the wake of uncertainty and a shifting professional environment, employers have a unique opportunity to connect with and change with the YAYA workforce.
YAYA individuals are in a transitional life stage. These 18 to 24-year-olds are living on their own for the first time ever, attending colleges and trade schools in new places, entering the workforce, and discovering who they are and who they want to become. They're going through a metamorphosis.
While YAYA professionals were spreading their wings and starting their careers, COVID-19 hit, changing and disrupting the traditional workforce that they had briefly come to know.
Pandemonium ensued, causing nearly a quarter of these freshly independent YAYA individuals to move back home. The YAYA workforce went from living on their own to crawling back to their childhood bedrooms. Compared to other age groups, it's clear that the YAYA demographic experienced the most disruption in their careers. In fact, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that YAYA unemployment rates increased the most over the past year, rising by 21% for 18 to 19-year-olds and 17% for 20 to 24-year-olds. Even though these numbers have since improved, they still remain significantly higher than pre-pandemic levels.
Even those who kept their jobs experienced disruption due to their careers shifting from in-person to virtual. Despite being digital natives, 82% of YAYA respondents still reported that they missed something about in-person work.
Though YAYA professionals easily navigate virtual life, the switch to a hybrid workplace shouldn't erase what they value the most: in-person connection, which was ranked as their top workplace communication preference. When asked what they miss most about the in-person workplace, more than a third of YAYA individuals miss working alongside coworkers, nearly a quarter miss the sense of community, and others miss social events, regular feedback, and casual water cooler talk. Despite the switch to a virtual workplace, IBM has kept this sense of connection and community alive through its work from home pledge. The pledge commits IBM's employees to supporting one another with daily chores like picking up and delivering groceries or watching the kids for a night.
As a result of these sweeping workplace changes, 65% of YAYA respondents agree to some extent that they feel uncertain about the future of the job market. On top of that, 57% of YAYA individuals associate negative emotions with the job search process. When breaking that statistic down further, 40% of respondents said stress, 11% said worry, 6% said fear, with other write-ins including tedium, anxiety, and feeling drained.
The disruptive events of the past year have led 64% of YAYA respondents to agree that they're feeling burnt out to some extent. Nearly 40% of YAYA professionals agree to some extent that they changed their career path due to COVID-19, with over 40% also agreeing to some extent that COVID-19 has made them choose a more practical career rather than pursuing a passion.
Despite the undeniable disruption caused by COVID-19 throwing their lives and careers into disarray, YAYA professionals are redefining resilience and adapting to the new virtual workplace. Surprisingly, 63% of YAYA respondents agree to some extent that they feel optimistic about the future of the job market, proving just how resourceful and adaptable these professionals are, even in times of uncertainty.
Speaking of being adaptable, YAYA individuals didn't let the absence of traditional jobs stop them from pursuing work. Nearly 2 out of 3 respondents said that they have an active side hustle, with 32% doing so to have extra spending money, 28% to earn income towards a goal, 23% to earn to pay their bills, and 15% to monetize a passion.
Even though their lives and careers were thrown off balance, the YAYA demographic found ways to adapt to this changing workforce while also preserving their personal happiness. At the end of the day, 60% of YAYA professionals disagree that COVID-19 affected pursuing their passion, a true testament to their grit and resilience during a dramatic year of change.
YAYA professionals are also finding ways to turn over a new leaf in the workplace. When it comes to being promoted, this demographic wants to walk the bridge and then climb the ladder. YAYA employees will gravitate toward companies that provide them with opportunities to learn, grow, and ultimately transform, both horizontally by learning roles within the company and vertically by climbing the ranks.
Our primary data revealed that nearly 8 out of 10 YAYA employees agree that it is important to experience a variety of roles at work. Their desire to take on new jobs and learn the ins and outs of a company proves just how willing YAYA individuals are to grow, both personally and professionally. Edelman offers a unique rotational program and sends its top performers to live, work, and learn about different professional roles in another country for up to 18 months. Employers should implement regular learning about various roles and the company so that employees can be hired internally without lowering productivity.
It's no surprise that the YAYA demographic has been called the most self-motivated age group ever. Top factors that motivate the YAYA workforce to get out of bed in the morning include learning, future careers, and new opportunities, according to an eHearsay Journal report.
Receiving recognition for their hard work is also a huge motivator for YAYA professionals, as 83% of respondents said that they would like to receive some kind of affirmation for a job well done. 39% prefer new roles or responsibilities, praise from a boss or coworker, and opportunities for promotion. All three of these top reward preferences are key to motivating and affirming YAYA employees as they evolve and progress in their careers.
Simply put, the YAYA demographic values building relationships with their coworkers, working toward achieving milestones or advancement, and advocating for something they believe in. Speaking of what they believe in, nearly 80% of YAYA respondents agree to some extent that it is important to work for a company that values corporate social responsibility. And the same percentage of respondents would change jobs if their employer's values don't fit with their own.
The YAYA workforce use diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts as a requirement, according to Deloitte. These professionals expect companies to take a transparent, data-driven approach to DEI, which means setting, communicating, and measuring quantitative goals related to hiring and promoting minority employees within the organization.
The YAYA workforce is tired of lip service. Google claims it's all about diversity, equity, and inclusion, but beneath the surface, it's a different story. Google's security team disproportionately checked Black and Latino workers' IDs around campus, making them feel as if they didn't belong. Google failed to create the safe and open space for conversation and change necessary for all workplaces.
Employers should not tokenize their minority employees to gain DEI credibility, as the YAYA demographic will see through that and not want to work with you. Some companies are already doing a great job, though. For instance, L'Oreal has a variety of employee think tanks, such as one for women of color, in order to create a welcoming environment. Companies like Apple and Microsoft pay employees $25 an hour for volunteering, and Patagonia even provides select employees free travel to volunteer on mission trips in third world countries.
If employers won't change, YAYA professionals will. 69% of respondents agree that they would walk away from a job offer if a company didn't actively support diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, proving that empty promises lead to empty offices.
As digital natives, YAYA individuals have the potential to thrive within an efficient virtual workplace. When meeting in person isn't an option, they prefer email than text.
Over half of YAYA individuals consider video chat to be a face-to-face interaction to some degree, However, for the sake of efficiency, this group would rather skip the synchronous Zoom call if it could have been relayed in an email. Because more than a quarter of respondents reported email as their favorite form of workplace communication, employers should take advantage of this whenever possible. Companies should also provide YAYA individuals with flexibility. Allow your employees to plan their own schedules and select the days that they want to be in person and virtual. For example, Netflix provides its employees with free range to work asynchronously without collecting work hours or vacation time.
All in all, the YAYA demographic is changing, and we've only scratched the surface. Our full report contains even more compelling facts about the YAYA workforce. You can ultimately change with us.
We've spent the last several months analyzing the 18 to 24-year-old market, conducting both the primary survey with over 700 respondents and compiling dozens of secondary research sources. Our 3-volume State of the YAYA report takes a deeper look at the trends transforming the YAYA demographics' attitudes toward politics and values, virtual life, and working careers in 2021. The State of the YAYA report will be available to download on May 4th. This concludes the 2021 State of the YAYA live webcast. Thank you so much for listening. Our MOJO Ad staff is now open to all of your questions.
Yes. So if anyone has any questions, any of our guests have any questions, feel free just to unmute yourselves, and one of our many YAYA staff members will be happy to answer any questions.
So besides just downloading this, are you open to providing this same sort of virtual show is not a good word, but presentation to other companies who would be interested in hearing this? And is there a charge for that? How do you monetize this at all? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, Sam.
Yeah, so actually we will have this all uploaded on the MOJO Ad YouTube once we give the final presentation on May 4th.
Don, are you asking if the group would be available to give the presentation and take questions and answers from a company like
I
Fleischman
am.
Hillard?
Yeah, Dean,
Okay.
I am. That.
Okay. Maybe Jon Stemmle could jump in and help answer that.
Okay.
I know that John's hotspot is a little bit unstable for some reason right now. I'll go ahead and jump in. Don, we're very proud. The students are actually presenting to Target Corporation on Thursday. That is something that we are very open to. We started with the live webcast as a way to reach, national audiences, but also felt that these VIP preview presentations had merit. So we kicked off, and our first VIP preview presentation was to the Kansas City Ad Club. So we did that. And yes, we're always open to it. It's a great honor. And so thanks for that question. In terms of monetization, that hasn't been at the top of our list. Of course, we're always open to it. And I think as we continue to build awareness of this, that's something that will be part of what we're considering.
So there's a lot of really interesting and important data in here that I know a lot of organizations, ours included, would benefit from knowing. So as you start looking at doing this on an annual basis, I would think there might be an opportunity to monetize it at some level. So, but I think organizations also would be grateful for just having the opportunity to hear this. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to dominate this, but how long are the students available to be doing this? We're nearing the end of the semester, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, this is true. We are finished with them next week.
So then in that case, with the video that Sam was talking about, the YouTube option, that would still exist online. Companies could take advantage of that even if a live student presentation wasn't available at the time.
Yep. Yes, they could. And also the book would be available for download as well on the MOJO Ad website. So there would be even more information presented there.
It does, though, give the students the opportunity to showcase themselves in front of potential clients as well, which is also a good thing for the school and for the businesses to see the people who have done this work. And, that might be that's a nice recruiting tool for the school as well. So again, I'll shut up and let others ask questions, but this is really good work. Thanks for allowing me to participate and see
Well,
it.
and Jamie, if I'm correct, we changed when the State of the YAYA was doing this year. Normally, this is a fall piece of work that would give us another semester with students. I don't know if we're planning to go back to that or not, but I think we upended it a little bit this year.
We did change. I think we're still planning on doing it in the spring, in the future. The timing of it is nice for interviewing because the students are very much in the thick of interviewing right now. So we thought that would sync up nicely, but yes, still something to consider. I'd be curious to know how much you think a company would be willing to pay for access to this. And we could offline perhaps, but your thoughts on monetization would be interesting to me.
Okay, I mean, let's do that offline and be happy to talk through. I may not be the expert on that, but I could get some others if we have a chance to see it that might be able to give you some counsel on that end.
I want to ask the students what surprised you the most about the data that you compiled as being part of that demographic yourselves. Were you in line with that, or did you actually disagree with a lot of the things personally?
That was an amazing question, Jody. I'm so glad you asked. I know a lot of our staff members want to answer that. So Sydney, you raised your hand first.
Yes, so I was on the team that really looked into work and careers, and I was really shocked at how many YAYA individuals are still so optimistic about finding work and kind of the climate that we're in and in this virtual environment, and how it really hasn't swayed them all that much. I was really expecting the data to come back and kind of show that they'd taken a hit in kind of their morale. And so that really surprised me and was awesome to see.
Thank you, Sydney. And Parker, you wanted to answer as well?
Yeah, I felt like I was in line with a lot of it, especially on the, I was on Team Circa, and when we talked about the luxury brands versus personalized items, I felt that I related to that a lot. But what did surprise me was the choice of investment at our age versus going on a trip, because I feel like a lot of the people that I know like live for experiences, and I wouldn't have expected that data when we started researching.
Thank you, Parker. Sam?
Something that I found really interesting was from our data, my Team Circa as well, was that YAYAs cared to be very close to their families, but they didn't really have as high of a priority for starting like families of their own, getting married, having kids, but career orientation was super high. So I thought that was some pretty interesting data.
And Dawson.
Yeah, and then our team did a lot more of like the entertainment side of things, and something I really wasn't as, I knew Twitch was really prevalent and really important, but I didn't realize how relevant it was to our generation, how many users use it on a daily basis. And on top of that, the brands really haven't started capitalizing on it yet. So it's going to be a huge platform that's continuing to grow and continuing really to even figure out what it's going to be used for. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Now, Dawson, you mentioned Twitch, so I'm not sure if all of our guests know what Twitch is. Dawson, would you or any of our other staff members like to elaborate on kind of what Twitch is and what it allows people to do?
Yeah, it's kind of like a completely universal streaming platform. It was originally used for video games in the sense of people could watch other people play video games, donate to their streams if they like the content, but it's expanded to much more than that, to where now you can watch sporting events, you can watch concerts, you can do so many different things on this platform. And so it's really still just getting off the ground. And actually Microsoft just offered to buy Twitch for $1 billion. I don't know if that deal is going to go through, but if it did, it'd be a major step in the entertainment industry and just overall give Xbox and that industry a huge step up over other platforms per se. But let me know if you guys have any other questions. I can clarify more.
Thank you, Dawson. We still have a little bit of time for questions if you have any other questions to ask.
I was surprised and pleased also about the choice of saving versus going on a trip. You know, when you saw all of those, I almost said crazy, guys down in Florida ignoring all of the sensible precautions for the pandemic and all the thousands of kids that went down there, and then got this research to kind of say, hey, those people should have been saving. And that's significant. And I would think a news story, I'm a news person, and I think that is really a significant finding and very, very encouraging to an old guy like me that the young generation is thinking that way. And of course, I'm just so impressed with all of you. This is just a wonderful presentation. I'm so proud of you. And of course, I'm always proud of our school. You know that. I only taught there 33 years. And I hope you took the news course, and I was the author, co-author of that book. But anyway, I'm just so proud of you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Don, for all your hard work. We've really appreciated it. Awesome. And looks like Sally, you have a question.
Yes, I do. Number one, great work, very interesting information. But question, there seems to be a certain amount of dichotomies between very close to their family, but yet wanting to be the whole unique part of it. And they don't seem to have any problem in terms of sharing their information in order to be served with new information. So they don't care if it seems like they don't care how much privacy they have because they're getting something back from it. Could you speak to that?
Oh, did I unmute myself? Wait. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to help Josh because he froze and say, Lauren, why don't you go?
Yeah, so in terms of data privacy and things like that, we actually didn't ask that specific question on our survey this semester, but I can speak to last semester. We did ask several questions about that, including in our in-depth interviews, which me, along with the other qualitative strategists, hosted. And in terms of sharing information, we are kind of a specific age group where we've been doing this our entire lives. So a lot of our life has been spent on the internet. We've given up a lot already to where it's just kind of how things are at this point. People did, among the people that did have hesitations, they mostly just said if they're going to give their information out, they want to have a specific benefit. So personalization is something huge to our demographic, which kind of speaks to your what you mentioned about uniqueness. So in terms of our social media, we like our social media to be super tailored to what we want to see. We like our advertisements to be super tailored to what we want. And that comes with a lot of sharing our data. So as long as we're getting something back in return, as far as our research goes, we haven't really seen much pushback for sharing our information. And I just think that speaks to our age group and what we've already given up already.
Thank you so much for that answer, Lauren. And thank you, Dean Kirbius, for saving me when my internet just cut out. And a wonderful question, Sally. I know that's super interesting, the YAYA's views on data privacy. So I think that's rounding out our time for Q&A. Dean Kirbius, if you'd like to send us off.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank all of our students and Josh, you for leading the conversation, but really a wonderful set of presentations and great data. I think you'll agree with me that our students are tremendously impressive, and I've had the the pleasure of seeing the caliber of their work done on behalf of national brands for the past 6 years. And they truly are ready to hit the ground running when they graduate, and they're joining a stellar group of alumni. So congratulations, students. And I know you'll do really well in the national presentation that's coming up. Our strategic communication alumni are leaders in advertising and PR industries, and I'm pleased to report that one such alumnus, John Graham, who's BJ 59, is returning to campus in a few weeks to receive the Honorary Doctor of Humane Letters degree from the university. John first joined Fleischman Hillard in 1966 when it was just a small public relations firm with a single office. He quickly rose in the ranks and became CEO in 1974 and served in that position for more than 30 years. Under his leadership, the agency grew to become a major global media and communications firm, widely regarded as one of the top crisis communications organizations in the industry, with more than 80 offices spanning 6 continents. We're lucky to have Don Etling on the call. He is one of our many graduates who is joining us and has gone on to a leadership position at Fleischman Hillard offices around the world. So it's great to have Don here, and Don's been active in the school, and we're appreciative of that. Thank you again for being a part of the program this morning. A special thank you to our students for showcasing their impressive research and work. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on our next DLC discussion. And with that, if you have anything that you want to talk to further, I'm always available, but I hope you enjoy your day, and I hope that our West Coast people recover from the early morning start. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you.